have a unique perspective, right? You have kind of have an English, but you know the American system and not Jamaican. So
Yeah.
tell me about how you feel as an athlete with the world of color, like how you identify with kind of, we say the blacks in gymnastics are not a lot, they're more, but how do you look at it from your unique background?
Um, yeah, that's an interesting question, definitely. I'm half Polish and half Jamaican, and like you've mentioned, I was born and raised in the UK, competed in the college system, um, but I've always, just from a young age, been really sort of confident in myself. And I know this is like a lucky attribute to have, but I was just really comfortable in the skin that I have been blessed with, and I always loved my hair, and I never sort of thought, oh, this is because I'm black or because I'm half white or whatever it is. So I think that is obviously something that nowadays you need to, well, not even nowadays, just in other people, sometimes this doesn't come as naturally and you need to instill this. But something that I really and truly loved about the college system, and particularly sort of Miss Val's ethos and being at UCLA, was they really wanted to celebrate everyone's uniqueness. And UCLA is obviously always one of the teams that does have a lot of diversity and stuff like that. So I think there I even took that to another level. Like, I was always very comfortable, and UCLA took me to that next level where I was like, actually, I really want to show it off, like doing hair choreography and stuff like that, and just like the things that make me me. And that doesn't necessarily need to be the things that make me black, the things that make me white, the things that make me Danusia, is what it was about. And I just loved that. And that's sort of a message that I want to portray in my gymnastics and in any coaching and any talks and stuff that I do.
That's wonderful. Now, I had to tell you, because coming from a performer, like I've done Broadway and stuff, I don't know if everybody understands choreography, right? Beyonce knows what choreography is.
Yeah.
But why don't you explain that a little bit?
Well, Miss Val's got nice, like, curly hair herself, and she was just always, yeah, she just loves curly hair because she's got it, or whatever it is about it. And yeah, I think it was straight away from my freshman year. She was like, we need to incorporate your hair, and I was like, oh, like, sort of an elite, you're in a more structured environment. There's kind of like unwritten rules to follow where it's just more formal. And so this idea, to me, I was so excited about it. And as I mentioned, I've always liked my curly hair. Don't think I actually suit straight hair, so I was like really into the idea. And then it just became like a thing that I had in most of my routines going forward. So I would either like just like ruffle it, or I would like pull a curl up. And I think obviously my hair was super blonde then as well, so it was like a really like a trademark thing. So yeah, I loved it, and I think it was always a bit of a crowd pleaser too.
Oh, definitely. So how did you end up choosing UCLA?
Um, so I was always thinking I was going to stop gymnastics at 18. Funny saying that now because I'm still going, but yeah, the Olympics in 2012, I was like, if I go to the Olympics or not, I will stop at 18. Like, I'm an adult, that's perfect timing. That's kind of what my young self thought was the best plan. And then a couple of my friends, one from a different club and one from the same club, went to America a few years before me, and they were absolutely loving it. So I think that kind of sparked something in my mum's mind. She was close friends with my friend's mum as well, and she was telling her about it. And my mum was like, well, why don't you consider it? Yeah, and I was like, oh, gymnastics for another 4 years, that really didn't appeal to my teenage self. And I'd heard of UCLA, and I actually didn't even know if they had a gymnastics program, didn't know anything about Miss Val, didn't know anything about them, but I just kind of heard of this famous university. So I thought I'll just put my mum, stop her from like bringing it up, and I'll just say, I said to her, I'll go if I can get a scholarship to UCLA. And like literally didn't even know anything about it. I don't know why I even said that. She was like, okay. And like she did her research, so she knew they had this great gymnastics team. I don't know whether she thought it had a chance or not, but she then went on to a message board that she found online that was about college gymnastics, and just put a message in there saying, my daughter's Danusia Francis. I was wondering if anyone thinks she has a chance at going to a college. She's particularly interested in UCLA. And then a few people were friends with some of the coaches. So they responded back and said, oh, I'm friends with Miss Val. And then someone else, I think, was friends with Rhonda, who was at Florida at the time, and said, I can contact them on your behalf. And so they did. And then Miss Val got back, and she came to England first, and we met her, and I loved her from the get-go. And then I went for my, what's it called, recruit trip. And that was kind of like what did it for me. My recruit trip was so much fun. And obviously all the campuses are just so perfect and just these like amazing places. And I was like, okay, fine, mum, you were right, I'll go.